Hello again mga ka-teachers. It's nice to be back. Thank you so much for subscribing and watching my videos, and I am happy to see you again. In today's video, I will be teaching you on how to conduct the demo lesson for both uh, two topics, the Grammar Beginner 4 and Grammar Middle 32. I am hoping that this video will help you a lot, especially I heard from the applicants na hire lang last week na hindi na lang daw script. They will actually do the actual demo lesson, and I am hoping that this video will help you a lot, and I am praying that you will be also become part of Native Camp family. So we will pray for that. But before that, let's please don't forget to subscribe and click the notification bell in order for you to be notified once I upload my videos. Thank you so much, mga teachers. Teacher. So in this video, I will be teaching you on how to conduct demo lesson once you are tasked to do the Grammar Beginner 4. Okay, so before anything else, let me guide you the color assignment. So the red one, it means teacher's lines to read, found only in the teacher's textbook. For the blue one, any other instructions found only in the teacher's textbook. And for the orange one, emphasis in the word or phrase, also found in the student's textbook. And one more thing, mga teachers, once the admin will appear, and the chat box will appear in this area. So I want you to use the chat box. It is very important. So don't forget to use chat box. So let's start. Hi, good evening. Can you see and hear me okay? Okay, very good. Am I talking too fast or just okay? Okay, very good. My name is Kim. What's your name? Okay, Rio. What a nice name. Okay, Rio, let me confirm you chose Grammar Beginner 4. Am I right? Okay, very good. Thank you so much. Today's lesson is Grammar Beginner 4. The title is Why Do You Need Natto? Please repeat after me, Rio. Why do you need natto? Okay, very good. Okay, please check today's goal. Okay, are you done? Okay, very good. Okay, do you have any question about today's goal, Rio? Okay, none. Very good. So let's move on now to today's phrase. Please repeat after me twice. Okay, well, let's start. Why do you need natto for the barbecue? Okay, one more time. Why do you need natto for the barbecue? Okay, very good. Okay, mga ka-teachers, so in case that your student will ask what is natto, so it means you will paste these words, this one, this blue one, you will explain it. You will explain it to your student. So if ever, so since there is chat box, once the admin will appear, so you will type what is natto, and you will paste this one in the chat box and paste the meaning of natto in the chat box. Okay, so let's continue. Okay, so natto is a traditional Japanese side dish made from fermented beans. It has a very strong and unpleasant smell. Okay, is it clear for you, Rio? Okay, very good. Okay, let's move on to the second today's phrase. Because we cook it with meat and vegetables. Okay, one more time. Because we cook it with meat and vegetables. Okay, very good, Rio. You did a great job. Okay, do you have any questions about today's phrases? Okay, none. So let's move on to new words and expressions. Okay, please check the directions, Rio. Okay, are you done? Okay, very good. So please repeat after me twice. Because, because, because we cook it with meat and vegetables. Okay, one more time. Because we cook it with meat and vegetables. No way. No way. Okay, so on and so forth. So in case that your student will ask, what is no way, teacher? So you will paste this one in the chat box. Okay, mga ka-teachers, I know you can do it. And okay, if you are done in your new words and expressions, so before saying let's move on to short conversation, you will ask your students if there is any questions that he wanted to ask. For example, okay, do you have any questions that you wanted to ask? Okay, if the students will say none, so it means you will say, okay, let's move on to short conversation. Okay, after that one, you will say, okay, please check the directions. Okay, are you done? Okay, so please repeat the situation after me. Okay, so mga ka-teachers, there are four situations here in the short conversation. The first one is you will read the conversation together. So the student will repeat you once. For example, in this conversation, you will say, Charlotte and James are shopping for the barbecue party tonight. So after that one, the student will respond, Charlotte and James are shopping for the barbecue party tonight. And after you will do the conversation and the student will repeat after you. And after that one, here's the second situation. Let's read the conversation together again. Please repeat after me. So the same situation in the first situation, but in the third, you will do the role play. You will do a role play. So you will be Charlotte, and you will be your student will be James, for example. In the fourth situation, you will switch the roles in order for your class to be interesting. And for example, let's switch the roles. Okay, so I'll be Charlotte and you'll be James, and so on and so forth. So after that one, after you read the conversation together, after you did the fourth situations in short conversation, you will ask your students is if there are questions that you wanted to ask. For example, do you have any questions about the short conversations that we had? If none, okay, let's move on to question. Okay, after that one, you will ask questions for your student, and you will say, please check the directions and answer the following questions about the story. Okay, after the students will read the directions, okay, you will give him 5 seconds reading the directions, and you will say, are you done? Okay, please answer my questions. Okay, based on the conversations that you had with your student. So does Charlotte like Netto? So it doesn't mean mga teachers na um, direct talaga yung answer nila. So it can be different as long as they have the same idea. So if the grammar of your student uh, if your student will have the wrong grammar, you will correct the grammar of your student using the chat box. So you will say, instead of saying this, you will say, no, she doesn't like Nettle. Okay, so on and so forth. So after that one, so if this black will appear, so don't forget to ask students if there is any questions that you wanted to ask. Okay, so if there's no question, so you will move on to exercise. Okay, so this will be the exercise, and you will read the red one. So now we'll have some exercise. Please check the direction. Okay, after 5 seconds, you will say, are you done? Okay, now let's do the exercise. Okay, so for example, you will say, why does he need another slice of pizza? Okay, your students will only arrange the words, and it should be correct. Correct grammar. For example, because he is hungry. So uh, instead of saying only the because he is hungry, okay, so instead of saying only okay, very good, because he is hungry, okay, so you will say he need another slice of pizza because he is hungry. So it's like that, mga teachers. So for another example, why do they need a new car? Okay, because they like the new design. Okay, you can put in the chat box. So instead of saying only because they like the new design, you will say they need a new car because they like the new design. Okay, so after that one, okay, so after that one, you will ask your students if there's questions that you wanted to ask. So if none, you will move on to free conversation. So after that one, you will ask the students to please check the direction. After 5 seconds, you will say, are you done? Okay, let's start. Okay, so you will ask your students, why do you study English? Okay, so after your student will answer, why do you study English? Okay, you will correct their mispronunciation, the grammar that they have said, and so on. Okay, after that one, you will ask your student if there is any question. In case you don't forget, if you reach this black one, you will ask your student if there is any questions that you wanted to ask. Okay, so after that one, you will review today's lesson. Okay, you will have two situations. Okay, the first one, you will pick three new words and phrases in this lesson. Okay, second one, three difficult to pronounce words. But in the second one, there's no need to um, pick the difficult to pronounce words if there is none. Okay, so you will pick three new words and phrases in this lesson. Okay, for example, you pick here. Okay, you will paste this one in the chat box, and you will let your students repeat you three times. Okay, for example, here, 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 so on and so forth. So after that one, if there is still time, uh, if there is still time, okay, I think the admin will appreciate or will uh, appreciate if you will not talk freely. Uh, if there is still time, you will go back to his lesson and repeat the lesson. Okay, for example, you will say, okay, since there is still time, let's go back to new words and expression. Okay, so please repeat after me twice. Because. Okay, so that's it. So if you have no more time, for example, 20 seconds left. So you will say goodbye to your students, and you will say, thank you for taking my class. You are so brilliant. You are so uh, smart. Okay, so that's it. But in the demo lesson, I think based on my friend, uh, she said that they skip. Okay, for example, you are in new words and expressions. Okay, after that one, the admin will say, okay, skip, proceed to short conversation, and so on and so forth. So I think hindi na nila pinapatagal ang demo lesson. So as long as you did your best, so that's it. So thank you so much mga teachers for listening. I hope that this video helped you a lot. So in my next video, I will be teaching you Grammar Middle 32. So stay tuned. Okay, so we are done with Grammar Beginner 4. So let's now proceed to Grammar Middle 32. Okay, so same as Grammar Beginner 4, the color assignment for red, teacher's lines to read found only in the teacher's textbook, and for the blue one, any other instructions found only in the teacher's textbook, and for the orange one, emphasis in the word or phrase also found in the student's textbook. Okay, so again and again, so don't forget to use your chat box while conducting the demo lesson. So it is very important to use the chat box mga ka-teachers. So let's start with Grammar Middle 32. So I am hoping that this video will help you mga ka-teachers. Okay, let's start. Hi, good evening. Can you see and hear me okay? Okay, very good. Am I talking too fast or just okay? Okay, very good. My name is Kim. What's your name? Okay, Rio. What a nice name. Rio, let me confirm you chose Grammar Middle 32. Am I right? Okay, very good. Thank you so much for confirming. Today's lesson is Grammar Middle 32. The title is, Would you mind me closing the windows? Please repeat after me. Would you mind me closing the windows? Okay, so after that one, mga ka-teachers, you will let your student to check today's goal. Okay, you will say, please check today's goal, Rio. Okay, so after 5 seconds, you will say, are you done? Okay, do you have any questions about today's goal? So if none, okay, you will move on to today's phrases. Okay, you will repeat, the students will repeat you twice. Okay, so you will say, let's move on to today's phrases. Please repeat after me twice. Okay, so after that one, you will say, would you mind closing the door? Okay, would you mind closing the door? And so on and so forth. So after that one, you will ask your students so if there is any questions. So if none, okay, you will say next. Let's check today's grammar point. Okay, today's grammar point is okay. You will say the title of the section. So the title is "Would you mind me or my closing the windows?" Okay, so you will say that one. Okay, you will ask your students, "Are you familiar with this grammar?" So if the student will say yes, or if the admin will say yes, all right, please check and tell me what you know about it. So you will let your students to explain what he know about it, about the grammar. So, but if your student will say no or not sure, okay, you will say, all right, let's check together. So repeat after me once. Okay, you will say this word. For example, would you mind? Okay, your student will also say, would you mind? Okay, so on and so forth. Okay. So after that one, okay, you will explain what is would you mind. Okay, you will say would you mind is used to ask others for a favor or permission. So if if it is possible, okay, so you will paste this one in the chat box. So in order for the admin to know that you are using the chat box, and you will also type the mispronounced words of the student, and after that one you will say the example. For example, would you mind closing the door? Okay, just that one, and so on and so forth. So after you have said that one, and you will ask your student, of course, that do you have any questions, Rio? Okay, so if none, so you will say let's move on to words and expressions. Okay, after that one, you will say please check the directions, Rio. Please repeat after me twice. Okay, so same as grammar beginner 4, you will also uh, let your student repeat this one twice. For example, rub, 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 rub. Okay, very good. So next one, you are rubbing your jaw. Okay, after that one of a teacher, for example, you have done this one. You are rubbing your jaw. You are rubbing your jaw. Okay, so on and so forth. So if you see this one, for example, this one, this blue one, so you can write it in the chat box, or you can paste this one in the chat box. Okay, so on and so forth. So before moving on to short conversation, just make it sure that your student learn or has no question about word and expression. So you will confirm if the student will have no question. Okay, you will say, okay, do you have any questions, clarifications about new new words or expressions? Okay, so if none, you will say, okay, let's move on to short conversation. So same, unlike unlike in the grammar beginner 4, you have 4 situations in the grammar beginner 4, but here you will directly do a role play. So since it's already grammar middle 32, so um, you will do a role play. So for example, you will say, let's do a role play, Rio. I'll be Olivia. I'll be Olivia, and you will be Danielle. And for the second situation, you will switch the roles. Okay, after that one, okay, you will only read this one with emotion. So after reading the uh, role play or the short conversation, you will confirm the student if there is any questions. So if none, okay, you will move on to questions. After that one, you will let the students to check the directions. Okay, so after 5 seconds, okay, now please answer the question about the short conversation. Okay, so for example, number one, what was Danielle's suggestion to ease the noise? Okay, so if your student got a wrong grammar, so you will correct it, this one. Okay, then you will paste this one in the chat box. Okay, so on and so forth. So another one, after you see uh, black one, this one, the black, you will ask your students if there is any question. So if none, you will say no, we will have some exercises. Okay, so you will follow only the red one. Okay, please check the directions. Okay, after 5 seconds, you will say, are you done? Okay, now let's do the exercise. Okay, so for example, this one, you will read this example and paste it in the chat box. And another one, okay, let's start with number one. Okay, but any relevant answer is correct as long as his answer is correct and relevant to the question. It is already correct. Okay, so if you're done, okay, if you're done, okay, so here is it, here it is another block. So you ask question for your student, do you have any question, Rio? Okay, if not, okay, you will move on to the next exercise. Okay, so this will be the next exercise. Okay, follow the red one, please check the directions. Okay, after 5 seconds, you will say, are you done? Okay, now let's do the exercise. Okay, for example, would you mind opening the windows? No, you can open them. Okay, so after that one, okay, you will do the exercise. Okay, so after that one, you will ask again if there is any questions. So if none, you will move on to free conversation. Okay, so in this free conversation, you let your students to explore their ideas. Okay, so you will say, please check the directions. Okay, after 5 seconds, you will say, are you done? Let's start. Okay, so talk about something you can stand. Okay, so after that one, you will say, do you have any questions? If none, we are done with everything in this lesson. So let's review today's lesson. Okay, so in this review, okay, after conducting the lesson, you will you will pick 3 new words and phrases in this lesson that your students learn, and then you will paste this one in the chat box. Okay, so 3 difficult to pronounce words. It is not necessary that you will pick 3 difficult to pronounce words. If there is only one that he is difficult to pronounce the words, so you will let your student to repeat that word 3 times. Okay, for example, basketball. Okay, you will repeat 3 times. Okay, so after that one, okay, you're done. But in the demo lesson, okay, based on my friend, as what I've said in the grammar beginner 4, that my friend told me that you will not really finish the whole textbook. So the admin will say, okay, for example, in the question, okay, you are done with question number 1, so you will skip. Okay, proceed to exercise. Okay, after that one, skip, and so on and so forth. Okay, so as long as you're doing your best, I think you can pass the demo lesson. So I am praying for that you will pass the demo lesson. Okay, we will pray for that to God, and I am hoping that you will be part of Native Camp family. Okay, so I think that's it. So if you have any questions, clarifications, so you can comment below. And thank you so much mga ka-teachers for watching my videos. I am hoping that this video helped you a lot. So thank you so much mga ka-teachers. So God bless for your for applying here at Native Camp, and I am praying that you will be part of Native Camp family. We will pray for that to God. Okay, so thank you.